goes in, and we're playing the statistics here, okay? Because there's always the chance that someone is going to walk in, love the house, write a check for it, and not even want an appraisal. Possible, but not probable. So Ralph goes on a listing appointment one time. House has mauve carpet. It's like a 3,000 square foot house. So he's automatically taken off 15 grand for carpet, right? Because it can't, I mean, anybody that looks at it is going to want to recarpet it. So he tells them, you know, like, well, look, you need to be at 225. And another realtor comes in and tells them 250. And the other realtor got the listing because they bought it, telling them somebody walked in and paid full price for it the next day because they loved the mauve carpet. It happens, okay? We're not 100% accurate all the time. So I have a tendency to kind of present things as very black and white, okay? Understand there is a gray area, and understand there's, you know, Judith has given a good example of that. You know, you thought you had it overpriced maybe by $10,000 and you put it under contract in 6 days. It happened. I just told them the mauve carpet story. So the follow-up to that story is I go on a listing appointment last fall, and I use that story as an example all the time in my listing appointments when people try and get me to pinpoint something exactly. And I'm like, well, we're dealing with statistics, and I tell them that story. And the people laugh, and they think it's hilarious. And I go to look at the house with them after we talk through everything, and I walk upstairs, and what's in the bonus room? Mauve carpet. I didn't get that listing. So. Okay, so fire your sellers. Yeah, more Donald Trump. Okay, so price sells. Did y'all get that today? Okay. So I'm going to ask you, did I give you some different ideas today? Is this a departure from your comfort zone?
That conversation with the seller, I mean, you feel like you're just kind of hanging your shingle out there saying, fire me. Or you're just kind of soul searching with them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so a little outside your comfort zone.
You use that as a script. I mean, you were going down that list without even turning around to look what was next.
So we're going to do one more exercise, okay? And this is going to take a couple minutes before you go. I think we have 2, 4, 6. We have 8 people, so this is perfect. So what I need each of you to do, and I would prefer if you two don't work together, okay?
We actually have to run to an appointment ourselves.
You do?
Do the choline thing on you, but
Okay.
I'm interested in hearing what this.
Okay, so we're going to go through this exercise. It'll take about 5 minutes. Can you spare 5, do you think?
Could be. I got to be at the courthouse like 5 o'clock.
Okay, so we're going to go really fast. Find a partner, stand up, and I want you to stare at each other for the next 30 seconds. Some of you all have done this before. Find a partner. Yeah, and just stare at each other for the next 30 seconds.
Right here.
Okay. Go. And no talking. No talking allowed. Shh. Shh. No talking. I think we've gotten about 10. Is that about right, Rob? And there's giggling already. Okay. Y'all are doing better than average, I would say. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do now. I'm going to short circuit it just a little bit. Turn around with your backs to one another. So face away from your partner. And I need you to change 3 things about your appearance. Change 3 things about your appearance. Go quickly. When you're done, turn back around and see if you can identify the 3 things that got changed.
Can I name one? Did you have a ring or something?
Okay.
You got one?
Did you take your book
Okay.
out?
I did.
Okay.
What's your ring? Maybe it's hard to say. Oh, you covered your mouth.
Oh, you. I didn't go down, so yeah. I don't know.
Okay, here's what I need you to do next. Okay, everybody, listen, were you all able to figure out what had been changed? Okay, turn around again and change 3 more things.
Okay, just for this last one.
Oh, we're going to be scared.
Now listen, and please keep this G-rated, but turn around and change 3 more things.
Good Lord, I don't.
Now, you can't change them back to exactly the way they were. All right, if you're done, go ahead and turn around and try and identify the thing.
Yeah, it's real hard, man.
I did that. I did my earring before.
No, I
There was
really don't
one
think
other
it's
eBay. Oh.
No, you've seen that.
Okay, go ahead and grab a seat, and I'm going to go through a couple of observations with you.
Did not put your watch back on.
So everybody, go ahead and grab a seat, because I want to try and make sure that y'all get to the courthouse on time. So let's go. So what did y'all learn from this?
You need to pay attention more.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Was it comfortable staring at the other person?
No.
No.
No, I
Why?
never did that uncomfortable silence.
Yeah. Why was it uncomfortable?
Because it's just, I mean, it's good for a short period. for
Because
like
you
a
don't
30
normally sit there and
seconds.
stare at somebody.
Too long, like
Yeah.
all that silence.
Okay, so it's not something we normally do, right? Okay, well, and all the stuff that we talked about in the class is stuff that you haven't normally done, so it's going to be hard. Okay. Second question I have for you is, as you were going through this process, how many of you all you were doing was taking stuff off, for the most part, to try and change things?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody put anything else on?
I took a pen in my hand. Too.
Okay.
Glasses.
Okay, so let me ask you another question about this. In this process, how many of you all asked for help? How many of you said, hey, can I borrow your glasses, or give me that watch? Okay? There's a really important lesson in that, because y'all were under, for a few minutes, a little bit of stress, right? A little bit. And the human condition is very natural that when we get put under stress, we turn inwards to ourselves. And so we go into the well that we already have, that's all we've ever had, to try and find the answers to problems that we don't know the answers to. Wouldn't it have made more sense to ask for help? And that's completely unnatural, kind of like staring at someone else. But what happens to all of us is we get under pressure and stress, and we're going to try and solve the problem on our own, instead of reaching out and asking for help. So in this company, we happen to be this sharing company. So understand that whatever you're going through, ask the questions around, because people are more than happy to help. Okay. Now, how many of y'all know that change is hard? Right, it's difficult. It's very difficult to change. What happens usually when you try and make a change?
Doesn't always work out the first time.
Okay, and you pretty quickly revert. So how many of y'all are back to exactly the same way you were when we started the exercise? Your phone's back in the same place, your belt's back on, shoes are back on, earrings are back in, hair's done the way it was before.
My hair's different.
Okay, almost, pretty doggone close. And if you're not that way now, you will be before you get to your car, right? Okay, so the point behind all that is I've given you some new ideas today. Y'all have given the whole class some new ideas today. Don't let that go to waste. Okay, it's going to be difficult to implement them, but make the effort to do it. What I don't want you to do is walk out of the classroom, and when I see you 3-4 weeks from now, or 3 or 4 months from now, or whenever it is, you're doing business the same way you were before the class. And you have the same frustrations and the same headaches. Does that make sense? Okay. I've had an awesome time. Thank you all so much for being here. Y'all have a great day.